Hi guys, Mike Reviews It All here. Got Ryan the Savage to my right here, Garth the Cosmos to my left. We're going to do a little news show. We wanted to do a live show this week. For some reason I'm having some technical difficulties with the YouTube live, so apologize for that. First thing I want to talk about though is Oklahoma City shooting. Police officer shot a deaf man. There was a traffic stop at 8:15 p.m. on Tuesday, according to the Associated Press. They arrived on the scene. They seen a man on his porch with a 2-foot pipe tied around his hand with a rope. They went towards the man, gave him commands to put the pipe down and to get on the ground. The man was deaf. According to everyone's report, including the police, this is not being denied that they were yelling these things. The police say that they didn't hear this. And then for some reason, from 15 feet away from this man whose hands they could clearly see, one cop shot him with a taser. The other cop simultaneously shot him with a gun and killed him. And there's quite a bit of uproar over this. What do you guys think about this?
Well, there should be. Anytime, the guy had a pipe, and I mean, this whole thing should be under, review, which I'm sure it is, because there's probably about, I don't know how many videos on it and whatnot from police camera angles.
He's on paid vacation or suspension.
I don't know what the guidelines for the Oklahoma police are, but I mean, why can't you just grab a riot shield, 3 guys, and just come in from either side and subdue the guy, if he's unarmed, right?
They're considering the pipe a weapon. I'm having to assume, because if it was threatening to them, they're considered a weapon. That's why they want to put it down.
It's a pipe.
Anything can be a weapon to a cop.
Yeah,
and that's why they take your shoelaces away when you put you in lockup, because you can hang yourself with your shoelaces. And also, I'm gonna think some of the fault has to lay with the deaf guy, and not trying to throw the deaf guy under the bus because he's already dead. But if you have a television, you have closed captions on it, and so if he's ever seen a cop show, you can see that when they're shouting, they're saying "Get down, get on the fucking ground." So you could be like, "Oh, I will translate into my non-hearing life, so I know that when cops walk up to me and start shouting and aiming guns, I should probably get the fuck down."
Yeah.
And even if you didn't see that, you still should be like, cop has a gun, they're motioning. They probably at least had to motion like on the ground, or at least pointed down a little bit.
Well, Mike, wasn't it you saying something like he was a little bit retarded or something, or?
They said that he could, that he was probably mentally delayed. Mm-hmm. Actually, on the video I made of it, someone that went to school with him commented and said that she thought he was mentally delayed. You can't put that on the police. There's no way they're going to know. Like Ryan said, he did have a weapon. In my very limited training and something that's not close to what a police officer goes through, I will say in loss prevention, our main thing is always, let me see your hands. If we can't see your hands, you're going down to the ground. We're going to slam you through the concrete because we don't know what you're grabbing. Now, I have had somebody pull a similar weapon. It was actually a pipe like this, and it was a mentally disabled guy, and there was a couple of us, and we just kind of walked him off of the property, and he didn't swing at anyone. I was not in fear for my life. I realized that police officers are facing, a lot of dangerous situations right now. So, but it seems like from 15 feet away, maybe with the training, the taser was a better idea than the gun.
Okay, well, I pointed out earlier, we were talking before the show, but it's good to note that everything the police do nowadays is under review. They're carrying their own cameras. Every single thing is put under a microscope. They do not have a whole lot of leeway from the guidelines, because everything's gonna be picked apart, by armchair quarterbacks back at the office and whatnot, and by everybody who views it. And what are you gonna do? I mean, I don't think I would want that job. It would just be like.
Yeah, it's their own kind of fault, because they were so trigger happy for so fucking long, where their first response to any problem was, bang, brown person, bang, anyone, bang.
Oh, there's no doubt that there was a lot of abuse, and I've heard stories from people in the past, and I've had a few of my own experiences, okay, where I wish there was a camera. I know the whole thing would have gone completely different, you know, if there was, you know, maybe a camera around to put them under review.
Like I was watching videos of some tourists going through like Los Angeles. They're just riding bikes, and they watched some cop pull some guy over. And of course, it's California, so they got to have 2 cops come up to the car every time for every sort of indication for an incident. And the cops don't see the 2 guys with the camera yet. First, they're being like very aggressive and angry. They're like banging on the window.
Then they see the camera.
And then they see the camera, and the guy, you could see the cop walk over to the other guy and like, hey, we're being recorded. He's like, sir, could you please roll the window down from motherfucker, roll the window down, asshole. He's like, he reholstered. He's like,
yeah. Mr. DeMille, I'm ready for my close-up now.
Yeah, I just don't think it's a good idea to put everyone in an aggressive situation. You know, yeah, cops are going into volatile situations all the time, but how much of the volatility, how much are they making it more volatile by their aggressive behavior? I don't want somebody banging on my window, screaming at me, hey, get the F out of the car, or, basically just treating me like a piece of crap. I'm not going to come off, I'm not going to come off nice to you. I'm going to be a little more careful, of course, because you're a cop, and I don't want to get the crap beat out of me. But, I am pro-cop for what it's, pro-good cop. Of course, we need these people out there. They have a difficult job. Oh, yeah. But there's definitely, obviously, some problems out there. And I think the answer is training these guys in a lot more non-lethal training. Get a lot of jiu-jitsu guys in there. Get some of these former UFC fighters in there. Do a lot more hand-to-hand combat, jiu-jitsu. Make the physical requirements harder, which is going to be hard because of the police unions, and some of these guys have been around for so long.
Well, it's not just that. What if a 5 foot, 90-pound lady wants to be a cop? Out on the street.
She can be a cop.
Yeah, well,
and you put a vest on somebody and give them a gun. It doesn't matter how much you weigh.
Well, it's we've had incidents like at the prison over here where a female guard got killed. Yeah, because she was left alone, and she had complained about it, and she had said, and warned people ahead of time, okay, that for some reason she was being left alone too much and whatnot, and then she ended up getting killed, and her family was in an uproar about it.
They have those body alarms. You're supposed to, like, if you go from like a 90-degree angle to down, it's supposed to like just set an alarm up, and every cop's supposed to just come fucking running towards to get your ass. Well, so that's one of those reasons why they have that.
And I don't think, it really matters that it's a 90-pound blonde woman. I wouldn't want to be left there alone.
She's got a gun. That makes her the whole.
Yeah,
okay,
yes, that's
cases, but
it's a different situation. But
it's going to require muscle sometimes. It's like with firemen. You've got to be able to pack somebody who's 290 pounds like me.
Oh yeah,
out of a burning building, right?
The fire department, they have physical standards. You have to be able to pass your fit test, every so many months, so you can lug that 300-pound guy out of his home because he's a shut-in and eats nothing but Hot Pockets. He must be saved.
They are way more diligent than police standards from what I've seen.
I also think what the police need is not more like physical training. What they need more is more mental and psychological evaluation. Like a pre-test and a test every couple of weeks or every couple of months, because you have the guys that want to go in there, they want to be Dudley Do-Right, they want to be, straight through to John Law. Exactly. But then you have the douchebags like who graduate high school, their fucking life didn't go the way they wanted to, so they want that authority, they want that power again, they want to be that asshole that can fuck with the nerds. And as a cop, you can fuck with anybody because you're a cop. So you can pull people over from going, 45 and a 40 and be like, oh, and here's your $320 ticket, asshole, because your car is better than mine. Yeah, you need to wean those guys out, because those are the guys that are immediately going like, gun, oh shit, he had an inhaler.
Or Oklahoma.
Well, you'll get the high quality people if you pay more money. That's what the unions are going to say.
And they are starting to pay more.
Okay, but then not just that, but you need numbers too. They got to know they got backup here, because here locally, I've been having, situations where I have to call the police. The response time, and the cops tell me, I said, look, there's just one car here between here and Ballard.
Is it one officer or 2 officers that come out?
There's 2 officers in each vehicle, okay, and it takes them a half hour to show up, because I'm reporting, somebody that's going through a car lot, just taking whatever they want, right?
And this is for your job, right?
Yeah, I've done this 3 times. Okay, the police, God bless them, for showing up, but you know, a half hour later, the guy's got what he wants and he's gone, right? You know, and they sometimes they don't even get out of the car. This is just not a priority for them.
Yeah, it's low priority. So
It is, and so it's like,
but also
I'm
that's
not going to bother them with these calls if they're bothered with.
But also that's indicative of if there's not so much of high presence, patrol presence in the area, that means it's generally like a low crime area. Whereas if you had like 30 cop cars going around, be like, oh, that's because there's lots of drug deals and murders and gangbangs and drive-bys.
That's profiling the neighborhood. Right?
Well, that's why. Like there's.
Here's the thing though. The Seattle, it does not have any more cops now than it did back in the 70s, and the population is what, tripled? Okay, that's just wrong. There's just not enough police for the number of people that are here, the number of crimes going down. And people know it, and the criminals know that, and so, you know, they're getting away with a lot more.
And we see a lot at the Mariners games, and I've seen a lot when I went to a Metallica concert here recently, but that's a lot of people.
They usually staff them up when there's events and stuff.
Yeah.
But we're all becoming young with the eye of Big Brother with all the cameras that are just being put up everywhere for everything. So now everybody feels like they're being watched already. So there needs to be,
It's like that in Britain.
Yeah, it's exactly like in Britain. They got cameras everywhere, facial recognition bullshit.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, that's got to be where nanny cam comes from.
Yeah, and so and they're starting to implement that here. I mean, Washington D.C. cameras everywhere.
Well,
cameras freaking everywhere.
I'm going to try and wrap it all up into one thing. Okay, you ever watch Andy Griffith show?
Yeah.
Okay, Andy knows everybody in town. He knows what their idiosyncrasies are, right? Mm-hmm. He knows Otis. Shows up, puts himself in jail, right? Yeah. Okay, so what we don't have is community. These police do not know who they're dealing with.
There should be more community interaction with the police.
They know the criminals because they're dealing with them all the time.
They do have Bernie Fife, though. He just shot some deaf guy in Oklahoma.
See, that's when
respecting him and due process to these police till the whole story's out. I will say.
Yeah, we'll see what the final is.
But also in Mayberry, the biggest crime that hit the Rockdale Street was somebody stole Aunt Bee's pie off the windowsill. So.
Actually, no. It was a grifter came through. Andy had to catch this guy who was grifting all the people around the town and whatnot. They had episodes where these city slickers would come in and pull shenanigans, and he had to do real comedy.
There would be shenanigans.
There's shenanigans.
I mean, he never showed up to a double rape, murder, homicide. You never saw that going on.
I would like to see a modern day Andy Griffith where he shows up to a double rape, murder, homicide. Somebody make that show and I will frickin' watch it.
Golly, Andy! We found sperm everywhere!
You gotta dip it in the butt.
Literally everywhere!
So let's put the question back to you guys. What do you think here from what you've seen? Do you think the police were in the right? Do you think they're in the wrong? If there's an issue out here with police training, what do you think should be done? Please put your comments down below. Please give us a like and subscribe, and thank you for getting us to 100 subscribers. That is awesome. Take a break for one of our sponsors, our only sponsor in between segments here, Jive. Go to jive.com, go to my link down there below. Jive is the Uber of merchandising. Download the Jive app. You can hit the Jive app, pick your job, how long it is, work when you want, and if you sign up now and put my name, Michael Benedict, in the words on there below, you will get $100 as long as you are working there still on October 10th. So you have to have my name in there. You will get a $100 bonus by October 10th. And each one of us will get a $50 bonus. I don't think I told Ryan that yet. So if you want to help us out in that way, that would be appreciated. But also, just get out there and, you can work when you want to. And you don't feel like working one day, just say, I'm calling out well.
2 snaps up.
Yeah, exactly. I like it. I'd like to work when I feel like it. But let's jump into the next subject here, I guess. So Seattle bus, there's somebody tweets out, I can't remember exactly who it is because I didn't have my notes, but they tweet out to a lot of people and they say that there is a Nazi on a bus in Seattle over by Union.
Oh, yeah, they tracked that dude down.
Yeah, and he's harassing people. The video I'll put a link to the video down below. The video is a great shot. It's a one-punch knockout. But basically, he was an actual Nazi. He had the symbol. He was harassing black people. And what he did is, before this happened, he actually grabbed a banana peel and threw it to a gentleman and said, "Here, ape." Another man runs across the street and lays him out. So I think we have to be careful who we call Nazis, but I'm pretty glad this guy got knocked out.
If he had the swastika on, I think you're pretty safe.
He had the red armband on, he had a leather jacket. My only comment on this is this. I mean, dude wants to go around harassing people, fine. You're going to be an asshole, you're going to get decked out. That's just what's going to happen. Freedom of speech, murk, murk, murk. But if you're part of the master fucking race, what the fuck are you doing on a bus? You should at least have like a Huffy or a Schwinn or a shitty Pinto or a banged out old van or something.
A Vega.
There you
This
go.
is very true. I'm sorry. I sit down though and I seen some guy with a by himself with a Nazi frickin' symbol on his thing. I'm smacking the shit out of that guy before he says a word.
That reminds you of the Blues Brothers.
That's
movie.
just me.
Yeah.
The Nazis in the Pinto.
Yeah.
They got. I mean,
I have
guy was
impulse
asking
control
for it.
issues though.
The guy was asking for it. He got what he asked for. You know, case closed. Right. You
But
know.
what was his motive? Why was he there by himself? It got me thinking. Was this like an initiation type thing?
No.
It might have just been some pissed off dude who watched American History X too many times. You know.
Or he.
Very true.
Just he's just somebody who's in his own world, you know, and that's a Nazi world for some reason. And this is, you know, the guy should go under mental review, obviously, you know.
Yeah.
Anybody who's out there harassing people, you know, for any reason, you know, and whatnot. And this goes for, you know, for anybody's political, religious views, you know, like Westboro Church and stuff like that. They go to funerals.
I feel harassed when like the Mormons and the Jehovah's Witnesses come to my door.
That's a little different. That's
I don't like being woke up at 7 in the morning when I get to sleep at 4 and they're in my underpants and they're like, "Have you heard the good word about Christ?"
If they're
so
being
nice about it. They'll come back later if you say, "Hey, I'm busy now."
What you do is you get half an erection and you just start staring them in the eye. Please keep reading.
come sit on my lap and tell me all about it.
I've done this before. They didn't come by again. I didn't get watchtowers on my doorstep anymore.
They're going to leave a stack of Bibles for you.
No, they just burn when I touch them.
Oh.
I've smoked a Bible once.
Oh wow.
Well, I needed rolling papers, and they make them pages out of rice paper.
Oh, the subscribers are starting to disappear now.
Blasphemy. Erase.
Oh no. Well, we do not endorse Bible burning.
I didn't burn the whole thing. I took it into myself.
What about Mein Kampf? Would you burn Mein Kampf out there?
I got a copy or two.
with them. Yeah.
They can't smoke those pages is good though.
Well, book burning, generally everybody's against book burning.
No, I didn't burn the book. I just burned parts of it.
No, I mean,
I took pages out.
But as a whole concept.
Well, yeah, I'm against book burning, but
okay. But if you had to burn a book, what would it be?
Kindle.
But those things explode.
Going Rogue by Sarah Palin.
Oh. Yeah.
Or anything by Dean Koontz.
Okay, you got a list going here. See, I just barely thought about it.
I like Stephen King, the last Dean Koontz book. Yeah, I wanted to punch him in the face because I got 200 pages in, I swear, and there was still no frickin' point to the story. I was so pissed.
The Twilight books, I'd gladly burn those.
There's a few works of art
50
out
Shades of
there.
Grey? I think I'd start with that.
That wasn't too bad. I read some of that, but it was still kind of like light bondage for
How many days?
for like mothers.
That's definitely for housewives.
Yeah.
But yeah, no.
I was like, this is supposed to be hardcore?
You're having some
You
issues.
clearly haven't seen inside my head.
Yeah, you're having some issues in your marriage with your wife. Buy her 50 Shades of Grey. At least, you might
Did we
have
get
a couple good
sidetracked? What was
nights.
the original subject we were talking about?
This is why we had a schedule, and we said we weren't going to get
How
sidetracked.
do we get to 50 Shades of Grey from...
So let's knock out only
Nazi.
Nazis before you knock someone out. Just make sure they're a Nazi. If they have the badge, bam. If they're not, don't call everyone a Nazi, please.
Also, don't ride the bus. Get a car. Before you try to take out the Zionist Zog machine, save up enough money to get yourself a little busted up Chrysler.
Very true. But what do you guys think of this? Please Give us your responses down there in the comments for any of us or all of us as a group. Please give us a like and subscribe, and we're going to jump right into the next one.
The more you hate me, the more I eat.
So let's start with Ryan. Trump and Kim Jong-un. I think we just need to say those two words. What is going on?
They just need to fucking get it over with, is what it is.
Well, put them in a ring. Put them in the
cage.
ring, right? You know, who I think Trump would stand up pretty well.
He's 70 though. He's
Please give us a like if you want to see UFC 217 Kim Jong-un versus Donald Trump only on pay-per-view.
Yeah. Okay, so
Call your cable subscriber.
they used to have that claymation
celebrity death match.
Yeah, they ought to.
Can somebody start a GoFundMe page for that to get Kim Jong-un and Donald Trump in a cage, because they definitely have more issues with each other than anyone else has.
We would need like whole countries to get involved in this, because how much do you think? I mean, Trump's a billionaire, so you're gonna have to throw a good chunk at him to get him in the ring, and you know, Kim Jong-un's a dictator, so he has all the money of North Korea. So it's good. Maybe we could just trick him, like lead a bunch of like little pieces of candy and like to get him underneath boxes, and then just pull the string, and then we just dump him in the cage.
I think with Trump, you just feed to his ego, and you keep on telling him how scared he is of Kim Jong-un, and eventually I think you get him in there.
I think we you know what we should do? We just get them together on that Amazing Race show where they have to be partners in a thing to accomplish their goals and shit. That would be cool, because for one, I know Trump can't speak Korean.
That points out something very important. A
A
lot of people that you don't get along with, and there's people can think of hundreds of people that they can't stand. But if you're forced to get along with it, in a survival mode, and you have to kind of work together and whatnot, eventually you'll work things out. Okay, the rough edges come off. Everybody compromises a little bit. And sometimes you find out more about the other person that you didn't know before.
Who would have to be the liaison to get these two together, though?
Germany.
Dennis Rodman's close to Kim Jong-un?
Rodman's good.
Somebody who studied the history of North Korea would be good.
Someone who understands Asian history and philosophy.
I mean, it was...
which again makes Trump out.
North Korea is basically... I mean, South Korea, too, is pretty much... been caught between the gears of communism and capitalism. I mean, directly caught between the gears. And that war is not over. The Korean War officially did not end.
No, it's just we got a ceasefire.
Just a ceasefire, and that's it.
Well, that and Korea is also dealing with the fact that they were occupied by the Japanese for a long ass time, and they're still suffering a lot of Japanese.
Yeah, there's no
love
culture lost there.
Oh, Koreans hate Japanese. Yeah. Koreans are not fans of the Japanese.
More hate comments down there for Ryan.
But study history.
Koreans, prove me wrong. You have a little bit against the Japanese, since they enslaved your women and made them, comfort women through all of World War II.
Okay, so generally we don't want people like that with intercontinental ballistic, missiles with MIRVs and stuff like that on, because we live in Washington State. We're in the target zone here.
Yeah, I live right across from Winnebago Naval Air Station. I know something's going off when I just see a white flash, and 10 seconds later, I'm dust.
So how real, we'll start with Ryan here, how real do you think Kim Jong-un's threats are at this point? Because in the past, he was just kind of letting off fireworks.
And that's just it. I don't know how real the threats are. I don't know how real, if he really has nukes, or he just set off enough TNT to make so that because the way we measure this is we measure it through radiation in the atmosphere, we measure it through seismographs. So he could have just gotten a shit ton of dynamite saved up, enough for the megaton. He could have gotten a megaton of dynamite set up and just set it off, and then had some little Chernobyl shit left over and had a plane fly in the air. Until we actually see one work, they just set one off live that we can watch or something, blow something up, or Guam disappears. Then we don't necessarily know.
I wouldn't shortchange our scientists for being able to pick up on exactly what they're up to and just what the yield was on that doggone dude.
If we're so damn smart, how come it took us 10 years to get Bin Laden? And we knew about him beforehand. We just let that shit happen. So
I believe Bin Laden was dead way before we supposedly shot him under Obama. I think he was dead for at least 5 years. The CIA admitted to making fake videos of him with a guy that was 100 pounds heavier than Osama Bin Laden. Was completely ridiculous, and I'm getting off track again.
So it's just our organizations are smart, but they're not always accurate.
They lie like a rug. That's what you got to know about the government. It lies. It lies all the time. Okay, I mean, World War II. I mean, like Pearl Harbor. You know,
Yeah, we
they
had
knew about that.
We had a
before
little bit of
that.
information that it was going on. There was.
Oh
The problem was we broke the Japanese diplomatic code, so we knew something was going on. We finally, like a couple hours before, pieced all the shit together. The problem was communication skills. We didn't have phone lines. We didn't have the means to get the information to the right hands as fast as possible. I mean, the guy got news. I mean, the guy in charge of Pearl Harbor, the head guy there, got a note like 20 minutes in through the shooting saying, "Hey, the Japanese might be doing something." And he's like, "Yeah, fucking really, right?" Throw.
Now it's going to be everybody's going to get a tweet. Sorry.
There is a communication that is still not out in public view about between Churchill and Roosevelt.
Yeah,
Okay.
I know about that.
You know about that?
I know their special friendship. Yeah.
Yeah, and what was in that? They think it was Pearl Harbor. It was being warned. The British Navy knew about Japanese fleet heading our way, and basically let us know.
It's one of those conspiracy theories that
I'd like to see that burn communication and see what exactly he knew and when he knew it. Because that changes everything.
That story's been around for a long time. That Roosevelt knew that it was going to happen, so he just let it happen so that we could get involved in World War II.
Who was that female pilot that was lost? That was very famous.
Amelia Earhart.
Yeah, she was
Sandy
supposedly
Duncan?
no, she was supposedly spying for us out there too.
Mm.
That's
Supposedly,
what she got caught.
Well, she disappeared. Like I think that her thing happened like in the early 30s, I think, wasn't it? 'Cause
Yeah,
it wasn't in the 40s.
it was a long
Yeah,
time.
there was a big build up before World War II. There was all sorts of stuff going
But
on.
everybody was going on. Japan was doing their thing. They were breaking that peace accord we did in the First World War. Thinking about the ships and tonnage, and Germany was doing their old little gear up thing. America kept making refrigerators.
America. Now, one thing I got to bring up, and I have not heard anyone else bring this up, but maybe us, and talking about the incentive for a war with North Korea. How many people know that they're sitting on about $6 trillion? That's trillion with a T of valuable metals. Lithium ion, silver, gold.
Yeah, we touched on that last time we talked about Korea.
Yeah, I think it was just me and you. I think that was without
I wasn't
when
here.
Garth wasn't
That's
here.
why
Garth was
it
absent.
It was
yeah.
roomier.
Yeah.
So when they got a big stash that they're sitting on like a dragon over there or something like that?
Yeah, that's racist.
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's, dragons, they got a hoard, they sit on it, right?
And lay an egg. Yeah.
I just said goblin.
Well,
that would've been-
Uncle Scrooge would be better.
That would have been, I guess, if Israel had been doing that. Oh.
But I mean, Apple needs more. They need more lithium ion to make their phone batteries, so we can record and ramble on.
Venture to say that our government, because just for 9/11, they announced that they had lost like a couple trillion.
There was
like 1.8 trillion,
gold
might have been more.
vaults down there and shit.
Yeah, so where did that go? They probably got their own war chest sitting somewhere.
Well, they blew up that particular building that supposedly had all the papers in there at the Pentagon.
How convenient.
Yeah, the Pentagon papers.
And
I think there was a
9/11
different
the next day.
Pentagon papers that they were talking about there, but
that was the Nixon thing.
yeah, well, that's the Pentagon papers too, maybe.
Yeah.
But
Well, anyway, I think there's a lot of money out there that's just disappeared. That this country's resources are just being drained for these black projects that nobody has any oversight. Even the president doesn't have any oversight over.
We just print money for that. We just print the money up for that shit.
and I have a feeling there's a lot of things that they're not telling Trump for whatever reason, and I mean, your opinion on that's going to be with whatever your bias is and your team. I don't have any team. I think the right and the left are both cults, and I'm tired of just having two people to decide between. But what do you guys think? Let us know down there in the comments. Give us some hate mail, give us some love mail, whatever. Please give us a like and subscribe, though. And that kind of brings us into our next issue, still with government, is healthcare bills. What is going on with this? What are we doing? We got Trump Care out there. We also have Bernie Sanders that recently re-released one of his versions. Ryan's going to take a break here.
You want to pause it?
So while he's peeing, I honestly do not know how to pause, but